internationals Danun and Yahi. Neither featured in the game against Ballymena due to visa complications, so Roy Coyle gave youth a chance. Teenagers Philip Mitchell and Noel Bailey put up a good show for the Blues and left United wondering what went wrong. Alex McKee will have some questions to ask from his defence. The first goal, a comedy of errors from Ballymena. Steve Young thrashed at nothing, Lee Doherty pushed it into the centre, Jim Scott couldn't clear, and Jim Bratton gratefully put it away. A second goal did come, though, in the 79th minute. The kids were at it again. A good run and a pass from Mitchell, finding Bailey, whose cross was inch-perfect for a grateful Lee Doherty. Final score, Linfield 2, Ballymena United 0.
In front of over 7,000 fans, it was Glentoran who dominated the opening stages. And the first chance fell to Stephen Douglas, but Brian Hanley made a fine diving save. The young goalkeeper again came to the Blues' rescue as he pushed away a powerful effort from George Neal. But on the stroke of half-time, it was Linfield who scored first. Paul Mooney's hard work rewarded when Stephen Baxter squeezed in the header. The drama and controversy was all reserved for the second half, starting in 62 minutes when Glens midfielder Raymond Campbell clashed and appeared to strike the Algerian Danun, and referee Alan Snoddy produced the red card. There was more drama 6 minutes from the end. Paul Mooney completing a strong surging run by blasting the ball past Dean Smith, but it was to be ruled out for offside. Now, it's the type of incident we've all seen 1,000 times. At the right of your picture, a Linfield player has strayed offside, and the linesman was right to flag. But to my mind, the player wasn't interfering with play, and most fans would agree it's the sort of goal which should be allowed to stand. The major controversy followed immediately. The long ball hitting Blues defender Lindsay McKeown on the ankle, and to everyone's surprise, including Glentoran supporters, referee Snoddy gave the penalty. Now, referees don't have the benefit of action replays, but the pictures tell the story and also show that the referee wasn't close to the incident. It proved a costly decision for the Blues as Barney Barr stepped up to hammer in the spot kick. 3 minutes later, it was 2-1 for Glentoran. Gary McCartney's turn and finish, one of the best you'll see this season. 2 minutes into injury time, the Glens got a third. The long ball releasing McCartney, and he made no mistake. 3-1 to Glen. Injury came in the first minute of Saturday's game. David Mills coming in from behind. Doherty went off, returned, but eventually retired in the 11th minute. In 33 minutes, Portadown went in front with a gem of a goal. Joey Cunningham's pace too much for fullback Alan Doran. The 1-2 with McGee was perfect, and Cunningham steered the ball past Dunlop. 3 minutes from the end, there was bigger disappointment for the Ports. Doran's chip knocked out, only as far as Mooney, and his lob found the bottom corner, and the out-of-sorts champions were off the hook. Linfield 1, Portadown.
Road Ferry League Cup, it started in the 12th minute. The Glens a goal up. Did Lee Doherty equalise? No, it's disallowed for offside. Well, 60 seconds later, an Ulster Cup déjà vu. A penalty with an air of controversy that surely firmly swung the match Glentoran's way. Quite a melee in the Linfield penalty area. McCartney takes a tumble. Was he tripped by Darren Coyle? Well, it's difficult to see through the massive body, so make up your own mind. Referee Oliver Donnelly was well placed. He had no hesitation. Neither did Barney Bars, as he confidently sent George Dunlop the wrong way. 2-0, and they're pretty happy. As well they might be. Linfield crumbled, the Glens well on top as Dunlop misses a punch from Campbell's corner. Stephen Douglas made no mistake. Half-time, 3-0. One-way traffic in the second half, but we had to wait until moments from the end for number 4. McCartney darts goalward with ease. His shot is blocked by Dunlop, and Douglas pots his 2nd and 7th of the season. Linfield 0, Glentoran 4.
The only goal of the game was scored by Linfield, and it came in the 26th minute from Stephen Baxter, so putting Linfield into their 11th successive Gold Cup final. They won it last year, remember, beating Portadown 1-0, and it's them they'll meet again on the 7th of next month. Glenavon had few opportunities. Jeff Ferris here later dislocated his shoulder, and a bad night for Glenavon was rounded off when Michael McKeown was sent off for a second bookable offence.
That was McCulloch in the way. Dornan. It's still in there. Baxter! My goodness. Mooney. Good deep cross. Lee Doherty in there. Good catch by Keenan. Davidson. McCready. Oh, McCallum. 1-0.
I thought we'd see some goals tonight. Tragedy for Roy McCready, right into the path of McCallum, and the rest, well, it was easy.
Philip Nell. Baxter turns. Good save by Keenan. Sid Burrows could be looking for Baxter. It's gone away. It's 2-0. It's Philip Nell. It went long. Got the touch. Nell into the back. And a red card to Alan Gordon. He's off. Jim, I was watching the replay. I didn't see what happened, but a sensation.
He was booked, as you know, a few minutes ago. He made a somewhat similar tackle, I think, on Greg Davison.
McGee, won by McKeever. Fraser in there, the lob, and a good save by Dunlop. He had to look lively there. Here's Doherty for Linfield. Oh, that's a good ball. Baxter in. Can he finish? He can't. Cunningham again. Good build-up. Fraser. He can turn this fella. 2-0 to Linfield. It's Linfield against Glenavon. There were few highlights in the first half at Windsor Park, although the Blues could have broken the deadlock, but Martin McGahey hit this chance against goalkeeper Robbie Back. But in 52 minutes, the Blues did go in front. It's 1-0, and that's Jonathan McGee. First goal for Linfield. 8 minutes later, it was 1 each. Ferris picks it up. A long cross, in goes Blackledge. Dunlop has dropped it, and that's McConville, and it's 1 each. With the snowfall threatening, Glenavon found themselves in a storm as early as the 12th minute. Midfielder Finton McConville sent off following an off-the-ball clash with Linfield skipper Lee Doherty. The biggest crowd this season at Mornview saw Linfield score in 22 minutes, and American debut boy John Kerr played a part. McCallum does well against Lowry. Here's Kerr. The chip across. 1-0. And it's Noel Bailey. Just before half-time, Glenavon should have equalised, but Jim Gardner headed straight at George Dunlop. In 59 minutes, Glenavon got a penalty, and it looked a harsh decision as Jeff Ferris went down in the box. Stephen McBride took the kick, but placed it against the upright. In a tingling second half, Linfield went close again, but David McCallum's shot hit the bar. Then Glenavon had a goal disallowed, and Jim Gardner looks offside, but it must have been very close before he went on to put the ball in the net. A cracking cup tie, Linfield winning 1-0.
Colerane's Nigel Quigley was a real knockout in the first half. 4 minutes into the match, and he got in the way of this John Kerr volley. It took the Coleraine player a full 2 minutes to get back on his feet. Quigley was again in the thick of the action in the 20th minute. Ricky Wade's corner touched on by Turish, and Quigley pressurised Paul Mooney into heading over his own line. That's the way it stayed until the break, when Linfield left the pitch to catcalls from their fans. If the first half was poor, then the second was magnificent. 6 minutes after the restart, John Kerr's corner was met by Martin McGahey, giving Jim Platt no chance. 15 minutes later, Linfield were in front with one of the finest goals scored at Windsor for a long time. An old Billy Cross was only partially cleared, and Paul Mooney sent in a screaming 20-yard shot, which left Platt gasping. But Coleraine hit back, and 5 minutes later they were level. Ricky Wade and Raymond McCoy combined before new boy Kieran Turish spun round to get his 4th goal in as many matches. 7 minutes from the end, Coleraine were in front again. Wade robbed Jeffrey, and McCoy, who beat the offside trap, rounded Dunlop in style for a fine individual goal. Linfield looked beaten at that stage, but once again up stepped Martin McGahey. Clever ball work from Mooney, and McGahey heads past Platt. 3 goals each, and most people in the ground had resigned themselves to a draw. But in the final minute, a long free from Lindsay McKeown was headed on by McGahey, and the unmarked David Jeffrey slipped it past Platt for an unexpected winner. Linfield winning 4-3 and given a standing ovation at the end. It's a funny old game.
There was a